This is the H&S Auto Shot UNI-9500 Auto Pro Steel Multifunction System. What we're going to do today is talk a little bit about overall panel, and then we're going to go ahead and show you how to set the ground for steel dent repair, and also show you how to use the weld-on slide hammer. So very quickly, orientation wise, this is a 230 volt machine. The welding torch control, right here I've got manual, pulse, and automatic. Down below I have my welder time control. We have a spot mode, which means we're going to use timer settings and power settings to control the length of time and the power that's going to be output from the torch when we press the trigger. If we come over here to torch control of 2T, you can see the timer setting is off, and now I'm just selecting my power setting, 1, 2, 3, or 4 from low to high. And any of the modes that your system comes with you can use on any power setting that you'd like to use. So if I go back to spot, it's going to have a specific timed mode. When I push that trigger, it's only going to stay on for a certain amount of time. So right now I'm going to set my system up with manual, spot mode, level 3 time, and level 4 power. So the first thing I want to do, I'm going to go ahead and reposition and set my ground. So on the newer machines, you're going to have an aluminum coated ground lug. On an older system, you may have a steel. Both work very well. We have gone to this aluminum design for our ground for all models moving forward. So we're going to go ahead and set the ground. Now what I like to do here is we have our steel side torch and we have our ground lug. So again, we need to set the ground at the beginning of our repair process. So I'm going to go ahead and insert this tip holder into my torch, tighten that up, and I'm going to use the 1007 spot tip to set my ground. Now you can use really anything that you're comfortable with. I like this because it's nice and has a large surface area. Essentially we need this to be bigger than this so that we can set the ground when we press the trigger. So we're going to come over and we're going to put the ground down, and it's important wherever we're working, if we're working on a panel like this hood, as we move our job, we need to move the ground. So especially if there's a tear or something like that, because we get conductivity with the ground on the panel. So as we're working, if we may just need to wiggle this off and reorient the ground closer to our work. So we're going to go ahead and make sure this is nice and flat on the panel. So we don't really want to side to side, just try to get that as flush as possible. And I have, again, my torch set up with my 1007 spot shrink tip. And I'm going to go and come over here pretty close to the ground, and I'm going to push the trigger. Okay, so now I've got that ground is set to the panel, but now the second part of that is I need to turn this to clockwise and get the entire ground lug to be in contact with the panel. This is going to ensure I have the best conductivity to the panel possible. By not having that secure and just loose like this, I lose a lot of effectiveness with the torch. So I'm going to go ahead and screw that all the way down. Again, I've got a nice tight connection. Go ahead and test it for tightness. We don't want to wiggle it off, but just make sure that it's on there good. And now I'm going to take the attachment out and put my weld-on slide hammer in. You can see the weld-on slide hammer has a tip. This can be removed and replaced. We sell these in a set of 4 called a DTK 8004 H&S Auto Shot part number, and you'll see 3 plus the fourth one will come in the bag. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up. Now you can set the slide hammer up like this. You can also orient it 90 degrees and put it in 90 degree hole. So we just want to kind of match this up. I'm going to go ahead and screw this in here. And make sure I've got a nice firm tight connection. Again, my timer setting's on 3, my power setting's on 4. That's going to vary based on what you're working on, and obviously you can use any combination of heat and temperature and time modes that you'd like. So I'm going to kind of go ahead and hold my slide hammer on the slide bar, kind of come over here, and again I'm on a timer mode, so I'm going to pull the trigger. And okay, so now I'm done. You can see my tip is firm to the panel. Bang, 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 and then when I'm done, I want to twist off and then go again. So you can see how we can repeat this process over and over again. I'll do one right here. And again, whatever's most comfortable for you. You may want to have this working this way. You can set the timer mode to an automatic. If you put it on auto, when you get this torch up to the panel, you don't have to press the trigger. It'll instantly electrify that torch tip to the panel on the auto mode. I like to use the manual mode just because I can get myself exactly where I want to on the panel. Pull the trigger. You can see I'm on a timer mode now, so it only goes so long. Bang, bang, bang. Twist off, and I'm ready to go. So that's a quick demonstration of the UNI-9500 Auto Pro with setting the ground lug and performing some applications with the weld-on slide hammer.